Welcome back to Cripple Fix It. I've got a disability related issue, not necessarily with me but with part of my equipment. Now, to give you a bit of history on this, a few months ago I thought of a great invention, which is and anyone who's got a walking stick will know, no matter where you put it, it ends up on the floor. Slides off, it goes all over the place. So, I don't know whether these ones are any worse, but it's what happens. Anyway, I decided I had invented something in my head to stop this sliding off. So I did what you should always do if you invent something. Google it, just to make sure that you're the first one to think of it. Well, I Googled it and found out I wasn't the first one. So I didn't bother with it any more than what was going through my head at the time. I didn't bother taking it any further. Anyway, I mentioned it to my mother, who very kindly after I lost it, went on the internet and I told her the one I'd seen, which I thought was quite a good idea, which was a one-piece one. But when she looked, it seemed to disappear off the internet. So whether there was a problem with it or it didn't work, I don't know. So she very kindly bought me one of the devices. When they're not rocket science, they're not, it's not like inventing an X-ray machine or anything like that. This is the device that she bought. And how it works is, if you can see, you've got to be Arnold Schwarzenegger really to get it on. So there's the first problem. But anyway, it's spring-loaded like that to grip the pole. So you snap it on and it's got rubber bits here. Now they're a reasonable part of the design, because when you put it on top of a desk like that, it doesn't slide off the desk or underneath the desk, or underneath doesn't really work. But what I tend to do is, and I'm sticking with it, and the only reason I'm sticking with it is because she bought it for me. And it's a little bit disrespectful to say what a load of rubbish, even though I think she's gathered by now. Anyway, let me alert you to the problems before you buy one of these. You snap it on. Bear in mind, it's not easy. In fact, she can't do it. The spring is probably similar to the springs at the back of my car office here. A bit overdone. So you sort of open it a bit and you can snap it off. Flaming heck. See, it really is not easy. You can snap it on the pole like that. Now, I can only imagine that they're made for smaller poles, because there it is, and it looks okay. But if you look here, it doesn't fit the pole at all. You can see see? It doesn't grip it. But anyway, I thought, well, we'll carry on with it. We'll give it a go. Out of respect for someone buying me something. It was only £2 or £3, so. So anyway, this then when you go up against a desk, you pop the thing on like that, and it don't slide off. That bit of it works okay. It's not perfect, but it's okay. Now where the problem comes in is everywhere else you use your stick other than popping it on the desk. Now to take this on and off every time, as you can see, was a little bit of a chore. So I tend to leave it on. And what happens is, every time I get out the car, I pull my trousers up, do anything really, and while I'm trying to hold the stick, this pings off. Well, it pinged off really easy then, actually. Let me try and give you an example, or a proper. Right, let's get it on. Here we are. So, getting out of the car, I tend to knock it on the door, whatever. So you don't need any. Can you see? Right. There's the main problem. It also can, and I don't know how it does this, but it can detach this bit as well. That bit comes off that bit. So far, luckily, the spring hasn't popped out of it. And so what happens is, this goes on the floor, this goes on the floor, and it could be some distance away. To be honest, I should be wearing goggles whilst demonstrating this, because it's quite dangerous. And that ends up on the floor. So if I try and pop it back together. So then what you do is, in the past, I had one thing hit the floor and one thing to pick up, which was my stick. Now, I've got three things to pick up. And not only that, I've got an assembly job to do. So I have to pop this in there. Everything's getting easier with it, because it's starting, the spring's starting to go. And then I have to get it back on the stick. Like that. So, if we can summarise this invention, I would say 1, it comes into the realm of hopeless. 2, it then gives you 3 things to pick up. So I'm wondering whether there was a hidden agenda with it, to give you more exercise. So you're bending down and picking something up 3 times rather than 1 time. But all I can say is I'd rather just pick my stick up than 3 things. See how easy this pops off. It really isn't. It isn't very good. Now the problem with my design was, I reckon it would probably retail at 25-30 quid. $40. Significantly more than the stick, which I don't think people will buy. But they're all going to buy these because they're cheap, suddenly realise they're no use, throw them in the bin. But like I said, I've had this bought for me, so at the moment I'm sticking with it. And it's kind of like one of those, well, self-mutilation kind of things, really. I don't want to carry on with it because it's just aggro, but I'm sticking with it because I'm a bit of a stubborn idiot. So every time, I mean, they're giving you these little tabs, but honestly, it's exercise. Pulling that open, you can't do it. The spring, well, The spring is ridiculous, but it's still not enough. But that's probably because it don't fit the pole. I'll see if I can show you that better where it doesn't fit the pole. See? Really bad. There's a good view. So, in terms of value for money, I would have to give it, well, value for money is sort of immaterial really, because it's hopeless. So it don't really matter if they're giving them away, does it? You're giving yourself more grief by having it than what it's supposed to do, which is help you. So was I wrong to stop my... Well, I never would have got it done, would I? I never would have got it produced. Because my idea was... It was a very complicated thing. But I can guarantee it wouldn't have popped off the pole. And this is just shocking. Anyway, there's a product review for you. Buy one if you've got a pole well, significantly smaller than that. There's my finger. I've got quite fat fingers. As you can see, it's what I would guess an inch diameter, 2.5 centimetres. And this looks like it will fit a 2 centimetre or 3/4 of an inch pole maybe. That would be better. It will work slightly better, but it will still ping off. I would like to know if anyone has managed to get one of these and had the same experience, or found one that works, that didn't cost 30 quid like mine was gonna. I mean, something you have to wear goggles for to put it on is not really, it's not really up to it, is it? Up for the job. Let's get it on again. Christ, the job getting it on. I think you can. There we are. Well, I was wondering if I could cable tie it on, but there's no real way of stopping the cable tie from coming off of the product thingy. I think that I searched for walking stick, something like stop walking stick sliding away or falling on the floor. Something like that is how I started searching. And there's several out there. Like I said, the one I could see was a silicone one, which you slid up the pole. But that had very few parts. I think the problem comes when you've got too many parts. My one had loads of parts. But it was the Rolls Royce of walking stick, slidey offy table things. Whereas this is a Skoda really. Lada. Something horrendous. So, hopefully, you won't be tempted. Aggro every time. Then I can show you again how easy it is to come off for one last time, because I'll have to pick it up off the floor. See? Everywhere you go, you knock. Oh, there. Oh, we've had a detachment where the ends come off. No idea where it is. Oh, there it is. And they always go in the furthest place from where you are. I can't reach down there. See? 3 things to pick up. So we have to put this together. It's only going to last another couple of weeks before I do finally lose my rag with it and throw it somewhere. Yeah? Horrendous. But, you know, someone had to go, didn't they? You wouldn't want them to make, I don't know, seatbelts, would you? Something you're going to rely on. Anyway, hope that's been helpful. Cheerio.